August was pretty bad month for my investment portfolio as I lost about 1100 euros just this month. So in this video, I'll give you a status update on my whole portfolio of about 60,000 euros and I'll just show you around what's going on. Hello finance people, my name is Robert and I'm here to share with you my learnings and experiences about personal finance as a European. So let's just jump into my portfolio tracker and I'll explain the situation. So first let's take a look at stocks and you can see that I'm down by about 2% and that's 150 euros just in August. Right now I'm looking at 3 stocks. I only own 3 stocks. I have Nokia, Microsoft and Amazon. I sold my Tesla stock about a month and a half ago. You maybe remember that if you watch one of my previous updates, portfolio updates. So I sold Tesla just because I thought it was a good time. It was going down and now I'm just waiting if it dips enough so I can buy it again. But it hasn't come to that. Also, the EV sector in general, it doesn't look that good right now. So I need to see how that plays out. But for now, Nokia is doing well, but Microsoft and Amazon, they had a small dip, I would say, in their performance this month. But this happens. This is just month over month. When you're looking at longer time period, they're doing, all of them except Nokia are doing pretty well. And by the way, if you want to have this portfolio tracker, you can just download it. There'll be a link in the video description. And then we take a look at ETFs, which is my biggest part of my investments. You can see it's almost half of what I invest in. VUSA by itself is already 30,000. And you can see that this month was not good or bad. It's really flat. That said, it's actually a bad sign because you can see here my total was plus minus 0. But at the same time, S&P 500 actually rose 3.7%. Now the question is, what happened here? Well, I think there's 2 reasons. There's the currency risk because I buy in euros. Maybe there was some changes in the exchange rate for dollars and euros. And the other part is that I also bought a bit more this month of VUSA. So maybe I bought it at the wrong time, let's say this way, and it dipped after that. And indeed, I checked the currency difference and you can see that in the beginning of August, it was somewhere around 1.08. And then at the end of the month, it was 1.1 or so. And that's about 2.5% difference. So that's a big part of why there's a difference between S&P 500 and the USA performance. And speaking of ETFs, I've started a newsletter where I share my thoughts about investing and personal finance from a European perspective. For example, in one of the last editions, I dove into whether you should invest in euros or dollars when buying a US stock. If you want to receive the weekly newsletter, just sign up. The link will be in the description. It's the first one in there. Next, let's take a look at crypto, which was a kind of bloodbath for me in this month. It was the cause of my negative results because if you look at it, Bitcoin dropped by 10% and pretty much all of the coins dropped by 10%. Right now I have Bitcoin, BNB and Ripple in my portfolio and just Bitcoin dropped by 800 euros and in total I'm down by about 1,000 euros in crypto. That's 10% just in August. But okay, it's crypto, it fluctuates a lot, so I need to be, I guess, patient with it. But it's never good when this happens, obviously. But overall, crypto this year has been great. So I'm not worried if I see these, if it's a longer trend, then maybe I have to think about at what point I will sell it. Right now, I'm just kind of waiting what's going to happen with Bitcoin. Next, let's take a look at peer-to-peer lending, and I have 2 places where I invest. It's 2,500 in Mintos and 2,500 euros in Esketet, and you can see that this month's result was 1.3%. However, this is not really truthful because I think the Mintos is counted twice because last time I looked at it, it didn't add the money and now it's added for both months. So you can see that I made this month 70 euros, but actually I should have made about 45 or something like that because every month it's generating about 20 euros. So I'm pretty happy with it. It's really consistent no matter what's happening in the market. Otherwise, I'm just getting that money in every month. And I'm looking at somewhere between 10 to 12% in yearly returns, which doesn't sound that much, but I think it's really steady and I just want to have something else in my portfolio besides stocks and ETFs. So this is one way to kind of diversify in that sense. And then if we look at overall my portfolio, you can see that I am down by almost 1100 euros. That's 1.2%, and it stings a little bit because this month S&P 500 actually rose by 3.7%. So that means I'm, if you compare to S&P 500, I'm down by 5%. So anytime that happens, I'm unhappy, obviously, because if I would just invest in the S&P 500, I would have got that money. Although that said, it doesn't work out like that because I've been investing for a long time. It's not that I put all my money on, August 1st into S&P 500. No. I have a portfolio of many years already, buying it, slowly buying it. So it's never gonna reflect that number, even your portfolio, unless you just started. It's, I think, a little deceiving, but when you look over on a year, 10 years, then you can compare your numbers to S&P 500. And just in general, August, I didn't really pay attention. I was kind of enjoying the weather. We actually have a good weather in Europe, and I was just not paying attention to the markets. And I hope that now in September and October and November, I can get back to it a bit more, and maybe also release more videos than once a month. So I'm looking forward to that. And now, I've been investing for the last 6 to 7 years, and there are a few mistakes that I really wish I hadn't made. Without them, my portfolio would have been probably double the size. That's why I created this video right here, so you can avoid losing time and money by making the same mistakes I did.